Good evening, oh, good afternoon. It is April from Knit and Kitten Crafts coming to you on Friday, June 4th. It is my lunch hour, so I'm going to give you an update on what I've done since Mania had ended. And Flosstube itchy, sorry. So, let's see, how do I want to explain this? So Stitch Mania is not my normal way of stitching throughout a month. It is unusual for me, so I'm starting June 1st, I started back to my normal rotation. And that started with this piece. I actually started this piece on January 1st, New Year, New Start. And the dog is barking. I apologize. Give me just a second, guys. Okay, sorry about that. Dog wanted to go outside. So, as I was saying, I started this piece on January 1st as my New Year, New Start. And this piece, I'm actually only working on the first 3 days of every month, except for May. So far this year, I've only worked on this piece for 15 days. And I'm actually quite pleased with my progress on it, considering it's only been 15 days of work. This piece is the Wedding Sampler by Teresa Wensler. So you can tell just by the designer that it is very much, the stitching itself isn't complicated, but the amount of threads and the amount of blends of threads can be quite frustrating. So let me show you what I've actually got done so far this year, since I don't have a before picture. So that is my progress. So let's see, the first I finished up this page here, this column. It is divided into 3 pages wide, and I think it's 3 pages high, so I think there's like 9 pages of this piece itself. And I got the first 3 pages done, the top 3. I finished it, I'm gonna say it was on the 1st, which was what, Tuesday? I finished it that night, and then I spent the last 2 days, Wednesday and Thursday, working on just this section. I got all of the leaves in, and boy, does that look so much better than what I was stitching on it. But yeah, you can already tell exactly what it's supposed to look like there, and it's still got a little bit ways to go down there. I'm actually doing this in a predetermined order that Teresa actually recommends. She recommends that you do all of the actual cross stitching first, and then she's got instructions for each separate area that she tells you, you know, back stitch in this color with this many strands around these things, or work this specialty stitch in this area with this particular color and this, you know, this many strands, that sort of thing. And she does that for the whole piece. And it's, you know, it actually goes along with the way I tend to work on big pieces like this that are heavily, you know, there's a bunch of threads, a bunch of different colors. It's a little bit on the complicated side, but it's a good complicated, if that makes sense. So that is what I've done for this piece. This piece is going to go away until July 1st, and then I'll pull it back out for another 3 days. So I'm going to go ahead and put this away. I've already started working on my next piece that I want to work on for this month, and when I get done with that piece's rotation, I'll come back and show you guys what that is and what I got done. So until next time, guys, have fun. Bye. Good evening, everybody. It is April from Knit and Kitten Crafts. It is kind of late. Today is Wednesday, June 16th. It is 9:15. I have been meaning to make this video for this piece as well as my next piece for the past week and a half. I have been busy. My stitching time has been reduced to a couple of things. The first thing is that I have a vegetable garden, and that's been taking a bunch of my time because I have to, it's a new garden, I have to get it all set up. I have to make sure it's watered and weeded, so it's taking up a bunch of my time. As well as I am making my whole family, my side of the family and my husband and myself, Harry Potter themed bathrobes. I believe I may have mentioned something like about it last time, but that's 9 different bathrobes that I have to make for adults. So I have to cut out all the pieces, and that's taking a bunch of my time. The time that I would use between the time I get off work and the time between, time my husband gets home from his job, I would normally use for cross stitch. I am now using the time to cut up my fabrics, that way I can get everything cut out for everybody's bathrobe, so that way I can just basically what's the term for it? There's a specific manufacturing term for it, where you just do one step for everything, for all your pieces that you have to make, and then move on to the next one, so that way you're not having to change threads, change what you're doing. You can do like this one. First step I have to do, I think I have to put the pocket pieces onto both the fronts and the backs. I would be doing that step for all 9 before I moved on to step 2, and then do all 9. So I want to get all 9 parts, all 9 sets of pieces cut out, so that way when I get all them all cut out, I can get started and I can just get it and going in sequence, sort of thing. But that's not what I wanted to talk to you about. So because of all of that, my time for cross stitching is limited. So let me show you what I was working on. So after I spent my 3 days on my wedding sampler by Teresa Rensler, I started working on my Advent animals by Brooks Books. And this is a free pattern, which I'll include in my show notes, which will be linked down below. And I'm doing it all together, and it's taking me about 6 to 8 hours per piece. And so far I just finished 9 and 10. So I've worked on it. It usually takes me 2 to 3 days, depending on how much time I have. This month it took me a little bit longer because, like I said, the garden and cutting out the patterns, pieces, fabric. So let me show you everything that I've got done so far, up to number 10. So I've got a piece of, what is this, 28 count even weave. It is a Charles Craft, it's a Zweigart, sorry. Zweigart fabric in like a sky/ice blue. So let me show you the individual pieces, individual parts. I'm hoping to get it all done this year, so that way I can turn it into an actual fabric advent calendar for both me and my husband to use. If not this year, then next year for Christmas. So that's the goal for this. So there's 1 and 2. You'll notice that number 1 is quite close to the edge. I did not give myself enough room for finishing, so I have to figure out what I'm going to do to match number 1 with all the other pieces. Because once I realized that after I got done stitching, I was like, oh, oops. So after that, I made sure to give myself plenty of room for each of those pieces. So there's 1 and 2. And then 3 and 4. That Scotty is so cute. 5 and 6. The camel is gorgeous. 7 and 8. My husband loves penguins, so I may have to do something different to separate Pierre penguin from all the other ones. And then instead of going the same format, I flip my fabric around so that way I can do 9 and 10. Kangaroo and the sheep. I like the sheep, but I don't know which one I would do to accentuate for myself, because like I said, my husband loves penguins, and I know there's a frog in here somewhere. He loves frogs, so I may have to do that one as well, so who knows. We'll figure that out. But this is, I'm just using the called for DMC for this. I can fit, I've got another piece of fabric, the same type of fabric, that I've also gridded out to separate my pieces like I have here. I've just used some sulky sliver, which is a metallic thread that is very thin, and I could easily just pull it out. I mean, like this one here. It's not quite down as far as the other ones are, because that thread is supposed to be on the front. It's in the back. It's quite easy to pull out. So I can fit 12 on this one. I'm going to fit the other 12 on my other piece, and I'm not sure if I want to do block number 25 or not. I'm going to wait until I get all 24 done, and then see if see what my husband thinks about doing block number 25, which is a reindeer. I don't remember if it's Rudolph or not, but it is a reindeer. So there's that piece. I got done with that. Let me check. I have a calendar on a spreadsheet calendar. Let's see. I worked on that on the 5th up to the 10th. So Kangaroo took me a little bit longer because there was a bunch more color changes on his block than on the sheep. Let me pull my camera back up. So Kangaroo took me about 4 days to do, and the sheep only took me 2 days. So like I said, sometimes it all depends on how much time I have, and my time's been a little bit tight lately. So there is that. So let me go ahead and put this project away, pull my next project out, because I did work on something else between the last time I recorded and today. So let me go ahead and get that done. Be right back. Alright, I am back. So I got this situated. It took me a little bit longer than I was expecting to get it situated. But, so some background on this piece. Let's see, late last year, my youngest brother and his wife found out that they were pregnant. So that was exciting. And they told the family that they were doing the nursery in a Harry Potter theme. So come March of this year, near the end of the month, the end of March, I found out that I have a nephew, the first nephew. First, you know, I'm an aunt one time over. So it was very exciting. So back in, I think it was like October, November, when they told the family, it was like, and they told the theme, it's like, okay, I want to do something for my niece / nephew at this point. It's like, okay, let me see if I can find anything that's Harry Potter themed as a birth sampler, because, you know, I want to do something, you know, for my nephew. You guys understand, right? So the only thing that I could find that I actually liked was Cloud Factory's Harry Potter pillow. So I went ahead and bought the pattern, and then what I did was I took all of those elements and rearranged and removed a few of them, so that way I could put my nephew's name, his date of birth, as well as his weight on the sampler itself. And I made a mock-up of it, sent it to my brother and sister-in-law, and like, what do you guys think of it? Do you like it? And it's like, yes, we love it. It's like, okay, cool, I'll get started on it. So I started on it, when did I start on it? I don't remember. Let me check. Like I said, I had in my previous clip, I have a calendar of it. Let's see. Looks like I started it back in January as well. I'm working on a few other things. So, started again this year. I've worked on it according to my calendar 34 days so far this year. I did not work on it at all in May, and I am actually almost done with it. So, my pattern was broken up into 9 pieces. The last 3 pieces are just very small, like quarter page sizes. And I'm counting as 1 page itself, all the way across. So let me show you what it is, what I've done. It is on, what is it on? It's a 28 count crystal dwarf, I think. I think it's crystal dwarf. Let me check. Nope. Crystal twilight. Sorry, my bag that I store this in with all the paperwork and everything is down here. That's why I went that way. Sorry, guys. So let me show you what I got to. So, excuse the hanging threads. I'm still working on this. Let me get it figured out here. It's been a while. I'm sorry, guys. So, let me get this looking straight. So underneath that paper is my nephew's information. So like I said, I took the pillow pattern, which I will not give you my pattern, how I figured that out, because I bought Cloud Factory's pattern itself. Basically what I did was I transferred everything as is into a cross stitch program. I used PC Stitch, and I moved elements around and added elements, took away elements from the original pattern to get this. So I'm not going to share this particular, what I actually did. I do know that I kept Harry and Hermione and Ron and just recolored them to match my brother and sister-in-law and the nephew. My brother is a Ravenclaw, my sister-in-law is a Hufflepuff. I'm not sure what that combination is. Is it a Ravenpuff or is it a Huffleclaw? I don't know. But let me get this. So, there is the top row. That was the top 3 pages. It is glittery. I am using metallic threads as well as TNC in there. I'm using Krennic to be specific. I have 4 colors of Krennic. I have a gold, I have a bronze, I have a silver, and I have a black. Because that is what is in each of the flags. So gold in Slytherin, and bronze in Ravenclaw, black in Hufflepuff, and gold in Gryffindor. And so each one of these corners represents a specific house. And I've also used the house metallic that I've used in the corners as well as that color. So there's Slytherin, Gryffindor is done on there, and I've got part of Ravenclaw in there, and part of Hufflepuff in there as well. Woo! You can see some of his information. Oops. It's his weight. I don't think it matters, to be honest. But, so I've kept 1 spell. I know there's some more spells around the sides and then more characters, but I wanted to keep hidden as the most important part of this. So there is that. And why? Oh, I forgot the paper pin and I put it through a layer of fabric. A second layer of fabric that it shouldn't have been. So, pretty much there. So I have to finish up. I don't know what I'm doing tonight. I'm sorry, guys. So this top border here, in between here, is going to be matched in upside down on the bottom. and that's what I have left to do, which I will finish up next month. And I will work on framing it. I don't know if I want to have it professionally framed or if I want to frame it myself, because I have no problems framing myself. So I'll have to decide what I want to do at that point once it's done. I may go in to Hobby Lobby and, you know, get the frame and the glass and just do it myself after that point, not have them do it. But we'll figure that out at that point. But that is, and I did that, and what I worked on it. Come here, I have my calendar. Let's see. Worked on it from the 17th to, when did I finish? No, sorry, that was wrong month I'm looking at. Let's see, June. From the 10th to the 14th, which was Monday. That's when I was working on it, and that's when I finished that page. Good. So this is going away. It's not coming back out until next month. So there's that. I'm working on another piece, which is set up over here, and I will work on that until my birthday next Friday. Not this upcoming Friday, but the Friday after. And then I'll come back around then, probably that weekend, to show you that piece. And then figure out how long I'm going to work on my new start. So that's it for tonight, guys. Let's see if I can remember how to sign off. It's been a while, guys. I'm sorry. So that's it for tonight. I'll come back again in about a week. And until then, have fun, guys. Bye. Alright, everybody, this is April from Knit and Kitten Crafts. Today is Wednesday, June 30th. It is my lunch break at the moment. I still have about 30 minutes, so I'm going to try and get this particular update done within that time frame before I have to go back from my lunch. So it's been a few days. It's actually been a week and a half since I last did an update. So the last project that you guys saw me work on was my Harry Potter birth sampler, which I did give you an update on. So, and I apologize, that's my cat, one of my two cats, who decided she's going to want to get out of my room after she got herself in. There she is. That is Sapphire. Come here. She's like, no, I don't want you. She's a brat. But back to cross stitching. So the piece that I want to update you on right now is the Old English Walled Garden, which you should have already seen in a finished image of. It is not on my Q-snap because I'm using that particular Q-snap for a different project that I'll show you in my next clip. So my Old English Walled Garden, it looks like this. So I'm in the top row of pages, and on this side here, I have decided, instead of doing all of the leaves and branches and trees and stuff, I'm going to put in the bricks first, the wall of this garden. So all those blank spaces are either for the bricks themselves, which are going to be in specialty stitches, or the leaves and the trees. Will you knock it off? Are you going to come over and say hi? So I worked on this one for, I want to say, about 10 days this month. Some days it was only maybe a thread length, some days it was, 2 hours. It all depends on how much time I had that day. But I am enjoying it. So I did get the gate in, and I did get, let's see if I can get my hands to work, not poke myself with the needle. There we go. So I did get this guy put in there. Come to realize it, nope, that is correct. I was thinking, wait a minute, I may have done full crosses when it should have been half stitches, but no, it's supposed to be full crosses. But yeah, that is where it's supposed to go. So that is that piece. So I need to put this one away before I can show you my next piece because my desk is kind of full. So be right back. Alright, I'm back with my next update and I've let the cat out. So let's get started. So my next piece that I want to update you on is my Christmas ornament that I'm doing for this year. I do or at least I try to do a handmade ornament every year. Usually it's a penguin because my husband likes penguins. But this year decided not to do that, and I've decided to do a ornament that I enjoy, that I like. So unfortunately I don't have a finished image of what it'll look like because the image that I can find, it's in the magazine and it's split in half because of the way it's bound. So I don't have it, unfortunately. And the magazine that I have is a digital copy, so I can't even show it to you that way, unfortunately. So this is my ornament, and let's see, do I have paper of some sort? I know I have paper somewhere. Somewhere. There, that'll work for a moment. There you go. Alright, so that is what it is. That's what it looks like so far. So the last time you saw, I had everything stitched. So the red and the green and the white stitches, or the off-white, I had completed the last time I showed it to you, and that was at the end of Stitch Mania. So what I've done for, I think it was like 3 days this month, was I cut out my spaces for the actual heart hanger. Did this one first, and then I got this one done, and then I cut everything out. Because at first I was going to cut them out one at a time, and then it's like, that's going to take forever. And it took forever to cut everything out. So I figured I'd go ahead and make it easier on myself to just cut out everything, so that way when I do pick it up the next time, I can just get started in stitching without having to worry about figuring out where I need to cut. So this is being done on 32 count linen, white or off-white. It's just a 6x6 inch scrap that I had just laying around. I don't care for 32 count. 32 count is okay. I don't like linen. Linen tends to annoy me too much. Not the particular size of it, but how uneven the threads are in the fabric, and that just irritates me. So the only time that I will ever use a linen, or even a 32 count linen or otherwise, is on ornaments. My particular favorite count of fabric is 28, and it usually has to be an even weave of some sort. So that is my ornament. I don't know when I'll pick it up next, but that's what it looks like. So let me put this one away, and I'll grab my next thing I want to show you. Okay, so my next piece is actually finished. So I know I talked about this in my last two videos, that I had a full coverage piece that I was working on every day, 100 stitches, 1 10 by 10, grid square minimum every day. Some days it was more, some days some days was it more, because of where the blocks were situated on the page. So I was working on that every day from January 1st to, what was it, last week? Let me pull my calendar up. I actually have another monitor, which is why you have this bright glare in me. Let's see, I finished it on the 22nd, like I had projected. So 3 days before my birthday I finished this. And this is a piece for my husband, and it is called Lily Pad Frog. And that is what it looks like. If you're seeing grid lines, it's not you. Yes, it is. I drew it on pencil before I realized that the pencil was going to show through. So I have to figure out how I'm going to fix that, if I'm going to even bother trying to fix that pencil mark, those pencil marks. You can see it in the lighter areas. You can't see it in the darker areas. But if you have any suggestions on how to fix that after it's already been stitched, please comment below, because I would love to hear your suggestions. But my husband loves it. I'm going to frame this myself. I have, let's see, this was done on 16 count Aida, white Aida, because why bother with color if it's just full coverage, my opinion. Using 2 strands of DMC over 1 grid, 1 little block, full cross. So I enjoyed it. I joined it more after I decided to do the basically 100 stitches a day process, because then I could work on it, feel like I've gotten something done, even if it was only 100 stitches. But it does add up over time, because I had, when I started it earlier this year, I had, how many pages? At least 2. I was in the middle row. There was, you know, now that I think about it, it's probably at least 4 pages. And I was able to get the rest of those 4 pages done this year, you know, within 6 months. Now, if I had done it, you know, had it kept it in as part of my regular rotation, it would have taken me probably 10 years to be able to finish that, because when I pulled this out for Stitch Mania, I found that I could not work on it, you know, like I could my other pieces, my other non-full coverage pieces. I don't know what it is about it. I just get bored of it really easily if it's, you know, a full coverage piece where I'm working on it all day. However, if I have a, you know, limit for it, you know, how long I'm going to work on it, I enjoy it, because then I can go, I've done it, I can set it aside. I have permission basically from myself to work on a different piece. So I get to work on 2, maybe 3 pieces in a day, depending on what's going on. But that is my finish. That is my only finish. I think it's my 2nd finish of the year, maybe 3rd. So I'm quite pleased. I can actually get stuff done now that I have a set rotation going on. But that's it for my finishes. I'm going to put this away, pause, put this away, and come back with my haul. Be right back. Alright, so my haul. I will probably normally not have a haul section each month, because I don't tend to buy a lot of stuff unless I need it for a project, you know, like I need more threads for something, or I'm kitting up something. If I'm kitting up something, I'll go ahead and show it to you, but I don't tend to buy cross-stitch stuff just to buy it, just to have it. I usually have to have a reason as to why I'm getting stuff. So, like what I'm about to show you, I needed something for a 1, 2, 3 stitch, and it's like, well, since I'm already spending the shipping, might as well get a few things off my wish list. So the item that I needed was, and I apologize for the crinkling, but I haven't taken anything out of the bags. So I got some more Q-snap holders. These are just the clamps themselves, because I am creating my own scroll rods. It's cheaper. I find it's cheaper that way than buying scroll rods that may or may not work, or having to wait a long time just to get them in. So I'm using some 1/7 inch dowel rods. I'm going to be putting some screws in it, and I'm going to be using the clamps. These clamps fit on the dowel rods. I tested that out to hold my pieces, especially my full coverage pieces, so that way I can use my floor stand, which granted I need to I'm going to jury rig something else better up for that, but that's in the future. So that's what I got those for. So that's going to be put aside until I get those finished. And then I decided to go ahead and get 2 patterns. So again, I apologize for getting into the bag. So the first the first pattern that I got was this one from Funkin Weber Designs. It's called Antarctic Night. It's a bunch of penguins. And they look like they're emperor penguins. This is Let There Be Night, is what it's subtitled as. It's not that big. It's 100 by 64, and there's 3 colors: a white, a light blue, and a tangerine. So basically you're using black Ada, and you're basically putting in all the color. So the black of the penguins, the black of the sea, the black of the sky, it's all the fabric. So all you're doing is stitching everything else. So like I said, white, a light blue, and a tangerine. So that will probably take, 5 minutes to do. So I'll go back in there. And then my other one, I don't remember who I saw started this, but I saw somebody on YouTube started this. It is called the Yuletide Garden Labyrinth. It is by Carolyn Manning Designs. This picture does not do it justice, like we always say. The cover picture does not do the project itself any justice. I saw someone was working on it, and it wasn't complete. I think they only had just, maybe the first 2 rings here done, and it was gorgeous. I was like, okay, I'm gonna get that. There's a few other of her designs on my wish list, but this was the one that I decided to get first. So there's that. So that one's going to get put into my pattern binders for a future project to start. And then, I don't know if you guys would be interested in this, but I have a couple of needlework stores that are within like 3 hours of me. So I don't go once or twice a year because I just don't have the time to go down during the week. Definitely not. I work, during the week, and then on the weekends I have, right now it's a garden, and then I have everything, errands to run, so I don't normally have the time to go down and just generally browse in a cross stitch shop. But the last time that I did go was about a year ago. Was it a year ago? Yeah, because that's when we got our dog. And we went to Tulsa to pick up our dog, and she was yay big. Oh my gosh, she's not this small anymore. But while we were in Tulsa, I went to the Silver Needle and did some shopping there, and I saw that they had an online presence, online shop. So I went there when I got home and saw that they had classes, basically little mini retreats with different designers, and I signed up for the Jeanette Douglas design class, and it was going to be held last year. However, with COVID, it got canceled because nobody could, supplies weren't as plentiful as they used to be. But I signed up for it because this, let's see, can you focus? There we go. That is the class that we're going, that is the project for that class. It's being held in April. There was apparently such a large amount of people wanting to take this class that Jeanette agreed to do 2 sessions. I am in the Friday-Saturday session on April 8th and 9th, and then they have a session the Wednesday and Thursday before, the 6th and 7th. So it's a 2-day class, 2-day retreat. In the store itself, they actually have a stitching room that this will be taking place. So I don't know if you guys are interested in it, but I'm definitely going. I will probably be driving down Thursday night sometime to staying there and leaving probably Sunday morning. But I'm probably going to be spending a lot of money there too, just not only stitching and speaking with Jeanette Douglas, because I love this design. I love a lot of her designs. I haven't actually stitched one yet, but I have 6, 8 pieces, patterns of hers that I'm just haven't been able to start yet because I have so many other projects I want to start. But just thought I'd let you guys know about that one. The Silver Needle actually does have a website, which I will link down below. And they have many different classes by different designers, but that was the only class that I saw that I was actually interested in the designer and the project itself. So there's that. So my last piece of haul is actually a book from Craftways. I know Pam and Steph from Just Keep Stitching mentioned it. They did show theirs, but this is mine. It is the Craftways Christmas, Cross Stitch Christmas, what is this, 2022? Whatever, for this year. So, and then there's so many different projects, like they said. So this one's, let's see, that one's cute. This one's cute. The animals are nice. But there's, a whole bunch of them. And then they also give you, when you get the book, they give you these free patterns that you keep this if you don't want the book. But let's see, there's a few projects in here that my husband was interested in. Let's see. Not stockings, because I already have stockings. I've already made a stocking for myself and my husband. Let's see. Sorry. Let's see, do I have a picture of that? Okay, so like I said, my husband loves penguins, so there's this project. I might do that on a 32 count, make it into a smaller ornament, if it'll work. May do it even smaller. And then he saw this one, and it's like, that's pretty. It's like, yeah, I may do that one too. Let's see. And skipping the page here. Sorry about that smashing. Let's see, this one. So I'm gonna cover this side up because the pattern's there. And then I thought that was cute. Let's see. There you go. But there's a bunch of patterns in here. Blue themed, animal themed, trees, a rustic, different rustics types, some black work, samplers, all sorts of different projects in there. I got their book last year that they sent out last year. I got that one. I'm getting this one. I've got this one. I'm probably going to keep doing this until there's a book that I don't like, which probably isn't going to be very often. But that's all I have for right now. I will come back later with some more updates. So until then, guys, have fun. Well, good morning, everybody. This is April from Knit and Kitten Crafts again. It is Sunday, July 4th. Happy 4th of July for all of my American viewers. And happy Sunday to everybody else in the world. So I am back again a little bit later than I actually planned on being to give you a final update as to what I was working on in June. So I've got 2 more projects to show you. The first project that I want to show you, you should have already seen a picture of. It is Athena, Goddess of Wisdom by Mirabilia. This was my birthday start. I started this on June 25th. So let me show you what I've got so far. So I worked on this piece for 5 days, from my birthday to the 30th, and that is as far as I've gotten. I'm using the called for colors and the not the called for fabric. This is 28 count. It's not barnwood. Brash. I believe it's brash. I felt it looked best on the pattern viewer for this piece. And I will say that I was a little irritated at myself when I first started it, because this dark color here, the symbol for that is the same symbol as this very dark blue here. But, so it's a half, the right triangle, except one symbol goes that way and the other symbol goes that way. And I got those two colors mixed up. So all of the of this symbol that I had put into this color here, I had to take out and redo. That took an evening. But I persevered and continued working on it. You can see here, that is where her arm is going to be sitting. I'm going to be doing that 1/1 when I get to it. Everything else is 2/2. I like to work skin in 1/1. I just think it looks better that way. I actually have a mermaid that's sitting up there that I did it, the Joan Elliott mermaid that I got out of a cross stitch magazine, just cross stitch to be specific. Don't remember the specific issue. But that one I had done the skin 1/1, and while it did take a little bit longer to actually do, I found that it made it look a lot better. I felt it looked better anyways. So I will continue doing that with all of my pretty ladies that I have. So right now I'm just working in all the cross stitches. There are a few beads, there's 1 or 2 metallics, but I'm going to do all the beads and the metallics at the end. So I'm just working on this portion of the pattern. And so for my pattern, I actually made a copy of the original because I like to mark off my patterns, as you can see from there. Sorry, I didn't realize that. That's actually my other piece that I'm going to show you. What was I? Marking off my patterns. I like to mark off my patterns. So because I didn't want to mark up my original for Mirabilia, because I like to keep things nice and neat, I made a copy of it on my home copy. And the pattern is in like 8 different pieces, because of the way I, made a copy of it. So what I'm working on is just one specific section of it. But I am contemplating adding this to my rotation as working on it from the 25th of each month to the end of the month. So that way it still gets worked on, because I do like this piece. I really like this piece. This was one of the first ones that I saw from Mirabilia that I actually wanted to do. Dressmaker's Daughter, which is up behind me, which you can't see, was the first Mirabilia that I've ever done, and I enjoyed it, and I want to do them all now. I have so many on my wish list. 1, 2, 3 that I'm just gonna start collecting them. So that is it for this piece. I'm going to put this one away, get my other piece that I'm going to show you, and I will be right back. Alright, I am back. So my next piece is a Heaven and Earth design. It is a full coverage piece. So I'm working on this piece like I did my Lily Pad Frog, where I'm working a 100 stitch, a 10 by 10 block every day until it's done. Which in this particular piece is going to take forever. Let's see. Do I have those measurements? You should have seen the final what the final image will look like. But it is 450 by 569. I am doing this on 28 count white even weave, and I'm doing it 2/1 half cross stitch. I did this one half cross stitch, and then I have another full coverage piece that is done on 25 count 1/1 full cross, and I'm going to compare the two when they're done to see which one I like better. So far, I'm not particularly happy with the way the coverage is with the half cross stitch, if only because it's half cross stitch and I'm seeing bits and pieces of the fabric showing through. That's just me looking at it. It may be at the end of the piece when I wash and stretch it that all the threads will fluff up and it'll cover that. I won't know until the end, but I will. It's a learning process. So this is Fireside Fairy Tales, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs, artwork by Randall Spangler. This is where I'm at so far. Now, in the camera, I can't see in the fabric, so I might continue doing it this way because, you know, I have to do half of the stitching that I would normally do. But there it is. I'm currently working on this page over here. I have the first 4 pages up at the top done. Is it 4 pages? Yes, first 4 pages done. There's still at least a page and a half, 2 more pages over here that still need to be done on the top. But to minimize the page breaks, the line, I guess you could call it, between the pages that you could see if you look at the at the piece in certain lights, you can see that dip in between the 2 pages. Instead of working straight across, I'm working in a diagonal fashion, this similar to how I'm working my blocks in a page. I could feather if I wanted to. I never really understood that process because then I'm going over, you know, the next page, and that just doesn't sit right with me. It doesn't feel right to me to do it that way, so I'm still doing it page by page. But it looks really good, doesn't it? Granted, I'm looking at it through my fabric here since it's just plain white and the weave is just big enough that I can see through. But what I can see when I look at it this way, it looks really good, and I'm not seeing the fabric showing through here, but it looks really, really good. I'm enjoying the way it looks. I will say that over here, this wing, it's this blob of something here. That's a part of a fairy wing. Oh my god, there's so many freaking colors in that. And especially in, you know, this flag, there's so many different color changes in this flag. And this one, not as much, but still, oh my god. The confetti in that. But it does look so good, doesn't it? But, yeah, that's what I've got so far. I'm going to continue working on this. I will show you guys some more. I'll show you guys again at the end of the month where I got to. So I'm hoping to finish this page by the end of the month and getting started on, I think I'm going to start this page next and then go down to this one and then, you know, do it that way. But we'll see. Next time you see this, it might be on some scroll rods. We'll see. But that is all I have for you guys this video. And I'm sorry for the squeaky chair. And if you hear my dog barking, she's been barking all morning. We can't figure out why. So that is all I have for this month. I will be back again at the end of next month with my next video showing what I've done so far in July. So till then, guys, enjoy your stitching. Bye.